friends. Today we're gonna make some chicken fajitas. This is some chicken that I pulled out that we need to use up. It's thin sliced. I'm gonna cut any fat off of it because I don't want that in my end product. And then we're just going to slice this chicken really thin and get it into our skillet. We love Mexican food, Wayne and myself both. So we're always making tacos or something, and I was getting some chicken out for a some canning project for the Every Bit Counts challenge, and I ran across this chicken and I thought, you know what, we're gonna have some fajitas today and use that up. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go over here to the stove and get our skillet heated up. All right, we are just gonna put a little bit of our home rendered lard in here and get us a nice coat of oil going so we can saute these vegetables in here. I have a few peppers that we have recently got out of the garden, and I'm going to chop those up as well. And we're going to have us a little feast. I also found that clove of garlic that we missed the other day, and I'm going to cut it as well. But we're just going to get our chicken in here. This is just some thinly sliced chicken breast that I picked up on sale one day, and we have used it. I'm going to wash my cutting board real quick with some good soapy warm water. And now we'll chop those peppers up. Whenever we just get a few things in from the garden, I usually just wash it and put it in the refrigerator for fresh use. And we're going to use all these today for our fajitas. I will save my little bag because I will do that again. Our garden is really starting to wind down. We're still getting plenty of produce, but in the same sense, things have really slowed down. It's so hot in northeastern Arkansas this time of year. We don't get very much rain, which my husband waters. He waters more than I've ever seen anybody water, but it's so dry and so hot, the plants really take a toll. Our tomatoes look just terrible, but we're still getting some, and we have plenty already preserved for the year, so that is wonderful. Gonna get all these wonderful sweet peppers chopped, and we'll get them in our skillet, and we'll get some onions. I think I have a few in the freezer still. We'll get some of those, just a few, because Wayne is not a big onion person, but we need a little bit for the flavor. I'm going to get these in our skillet and our onions. All right, we got our chicken. It's cooking. Here is our garden onions that we harvested back in the spring. This is all we have left, guys. We've used most of them for canning projects or cooking. And we're going to get our wonderful fresh peppers in there. I'm going to use that same recipe we used to make tortillas. I'm going to go ahead and chop this little bit of garlic up in it, and we'll have that flavor as well. Once all this gets cooked, we will put it on tortilla shells and enjoy it. But I'm going to make some fresh homemade tortillas. Alright, for our tortillas, we need 2 cups of flour. This is a half-cup measure, so we'll do 4 of these. We need a teaspoon of salt. Half a tablespoon, a teaspoon. All right, we need 3 tablespoons of lard, a half of a cup of water. Alright, we're going to kind of take a fork and work this lard into the flour before we pour our water in. Just kind of get through there till we get kind of a beady consistency. We're going to make smaller shells this time than we did last time, because last time we were making enchiladas. This time we're making fajita shells. So we just want it to look similar to, you know, sand or something. And it don't have to be perfect. This is a pretty forgiving recipe. Alright, now we're going to put our water in. We're going to get that mixed all together here. Going to kind of put my hand in here and work it to see how much water we need to add. We're going to have to add a little bit more, but let's see. Let's add just a little bit of warm water. Alright, now that I have dough everywhere, let's get this into a log. I'm not sure if this is the right recipe for the one that I really enjoyed, but we're going to make them with it anyways. I've made a couple of recipes. One of them was my favorite. And I'm not sure quite if this one's it or not, but it is a very soft dough. You just got to work it a little bit. Now we're going to let it rest for some time, and we're going to make this into a log, and then we'll roll out our tortillas. Okay, I've got my kneading mat out here, and we're just going to put a little bit of flour on this and kind of do this around. And what we're going to do is bring our dough over here, and we're going to cut it or pinch it or whatever in smaller pieces. Like this is probably going to be the correct size for our tortillas today, because we're doing fajitas. I hope we have enough left for Wayne's lunch tomorrow, because he packs his lunch, or I do daily for him, and it's just nice to always have some leftovers so he can take that for his lunch. I think we will. We're just going to make our size kind of the amount of dough we need in each ball. And we're going to let these rest for a little bit. I'm going to go over here and work on my fajita meat. And I'm going to steal a little bit from that one for this one. And we should have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That should be plenty for our lunch and for his lunch tomorrow. Our chicken and onion and pepper mixture is coming together nicely. I'm going to go through and chop up some of these bigger chunks of chicken, and I'm fixing to add some seasoning to this. Alright, for this we're just going to add some of our homemade taco seasoning. We're just going to sprinkle a little dab around, and it's going to give it a wonderful flavor. We're just going to let it cook for a few more minutes, and this part of the lunch will be done. And then we'll start on our fajita shells. I went ahead and rolled out our first shell. This is about the size we're going for. We're just letting our skillet, I gave it a little rinse out. We're letting it heat up, and we're going to add just a small amount of lard to this, just to keep things from sticking. But I want to get all that water to get out of that skillet. So I'm going to go over here and roll out some shells. Okay, all we're going to do, I like to just have a little flour on the bottom to keep them from sticking. We're just going to roll these out. I flip them every time so that the flour kind of stays, you know, good. And then this one, I'm just going to put a little flour on that side and just continue to roll these out. And I turn them halfway every time so that we get a kind of an even round shell. We enjoyed those homemade ones in the enchiladas so much, I thought I'm just gonna start making them for stuff like this. I may need, I think we're good. Okay, we're gonna check our skillet real quick. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. And see where we're at. All right, we're just about ready. There's just a little wet spot on this side, and then we are gonna start cooking our tortilla shells for this. I'm gonna get a towel out so we can put our nice homemade tortillas in a towel to keep them warm while we're making the others. And it really does. It keeps them very warm. I was kind of impressed with how warm the ones were that I made last weekend. We're just going to put a tiny bit. I'm going to turn this heat down just a bit. I just wanted to get that skillet dried out. We're going to toss in our first tortilla. Once we get bubbles all over the top, we'll give it a flip, and we'll just keep cooking till we get them all done. We'll give this one a little flip. Get this over here in our towel. Just going to continue to cook these. These fold really nice. We're going to do 2 for myself for lunch. We're going to put some of our meat mixture in there. A little cheese. And some sour cream. And a little bit of our homemade jalapeno hot sauce. It's so yummy. And there you have it, friends. A meal made for a king. Alright friends, thank you for stopping back by our homestead. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time. Try this simple recipe, and these tortillas are amazing.